Alrighty, and here we go. Second game of the season league. And you know what, Gil? I'm gonna let you talk for a bit. That's what I'll do.
All right. Well, I hope everybody's ready for today's game. We're going to be against Queen's University, I believe it is.
Yep, Queens.
And
Not New York.
Not New York.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay.
I'm
All
going to be
right.
honest, I'm not actually sure where they're from, so if it is New York, I don't think I'd be
That would be
surprised.
pretty
But
cool.
I don't think it's New York.
Yeah, that's probably not New York.
It's probably not New York.
Yeah. That was the rapper side, like me listening to rap. Jay-Z and like all that. But all right, anyways. Here we go. Second game of league. We should be starting in a little bit. I am so excited. I've been playing a lot of league recently. I've been losing a lot, but that's beyond the point. Super excited for this game, and I cannot wait to see. Hopefully, I want to see Kakeets Darius again, because that was just phenomenal gameplay last week.
I was talking to Highway, and he was talking about how they were looking at more of like a damage comp with everything.
Oh
I can't
my
remember
gosh,
the
yes.
exact champions he listed, but I believe one of them he listed was they were looking at Veigar, they were looking
Really?
at Darius. I don't think there was a Lowy in there. I could be completely wrong.
Veigar.
I'm like trying to remember what he said, but they are looking for more of a damage comp this game, which I think will work out great.
But Veigar though, that's kind of like
Honestly, if they get a
Veigar-
Veigar in there, that wouldn't be that bad because with the baby cage.
Yeah, the baby cage, yeah. But then if he gets Dove, but I guess if he has Zanya's, then that wouldn't be that much of a deal. So that's true.
'Cause he got so much scaling that even if they have like a good early game like they did the first game
That's true.
last
Yes.
week, then he can have that scaling so that he has something in the late game if something goes wrong.
It was so odd the way like Point Park, we had such a strong early game in both games. It felt like in both games we had such a strong early game, and then like we just slowly faded off as soon as it hit like mid to late game when it came to especially objectives. I feel like in the second game we just kind of gave up a lot of objectives. In the first game we were on top of objectives, and then this came to a point to where they were just their micro was just
A lot bigger than ours.
yeah, a lot bigger. Like it's just yeah, you might have 4 dragons, but our micro is like 200 more CS than your entire team. It's like, oh gosh.
And a few more kills than everybody
Yeah,
else.
exactly. A few
And
more
we
kills
were,
as
we
well.
were in the lead
Yeah.
on kills and gold and everything, but then that Cassiopeia came up. She got those kills. She's
Don't even
kind
get
of
me started on Cassiopeia, honestly. Don't even get me started on Cassie.
But I am so excited for this to start. I'm kind of getting a little bit like
I just want to see the gameplay.
there's so much anticipation just to see.
Yes. I've been dying to watch them play. They're excited to play. I was talking to some of them and they were like, yeah, we might be going with this, might be going with that. And so I'm like, dude, I'm just ready to, like, this is always the weird part when it comes to us doing the intros, because we're like, give the intro, so we're about, but we're gamers. So like we're also, as much as the viewers trying to look at the gameplay, we're trying to look at the gameplay too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the whole reasons I really wanted to join the crew and everything. Like,
Oh.
I love this game so much.
Yeah.
I love League. I like playing it. I like watching it. And now I have the opportunity to commentate on it.
Exactly.
And now I'm just ready to commentate on it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to.
Sponsored by Redbull, by the way. If you did not know, now you know. I won't say that last part, but all right. So we should be getting started. In a little bit, but let's talk about. Let's keep talking about the comps, because I do want to hopefully see a little bit of Darius. I want to see Cassidon, hopefully from
Oh,
Highway.
I do remember another
I'd love
one.
to see
I
that.
do remember there was another listing for Lysandra in there.
Lysandra, okay.
I know last game's Lysandra was like a little bit. We didn't get to see its full potential because that rise kind of popped off real early.
Oh my gosh.
We did not get to see Highway's Lysandra in its full potential. And if we can pull out that Lysandra again, I do believe we'll be able to see its full potential.
We'd love to see Lysandra. And then in the bot lane, I feel like that would be left to. Well, you can do anything with bot lane, to be honest. Their bot lane's pretty solid overall.
I liked that Karma from the first game.
Yes.
I really, really liked that Karma.
See, I felt weird about the Karma a little bit, because during team fights it didn't really have much presence, sort of say. But it still did a lot of, like, during the team fights when it did have presence, those
It
are
was
team fights that
so
were
good.
won easily.
Karma is such a team fight oriented champion. with the tether, with the mantra Q, or even her shields.
Yeah, and also the movement speed as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, I'm excited to see Karma, and we actually should be seeing Karma. He even sent it. I remember they even sent it in the chat like, okay, we're going with Karma. So
Yeah.
hopefully we see that for both games. We saw it for one game, it
And we
didn't
saw the
work.
Lulu in the second game.
I didn't mind the Lulu pick
I didn't
actually.
mind it either.
Yeah,
I thought Lulu was a really good pick.
it was just a little bit rough when that Amumu we have that Amumu support that has that that early pressure and laning phase that makes it nearly impossible for the ADC to get any type of farmer CS.
Amumu's numbers are just so good right now. Like
Yeah,
he's genuinely like a good champion right now, and so it's difficult to find him in any lane, whether that be we see the Amumu support, we see the Amumu jungle. I mean, we
I
could
hate
probably even
Amumu
see
jungle.
Amumu top, and it would be difficult.
I would not be surprised if I saw Amumu top.
I would not
I've
either.
yet to see it, but that does not sound like a bad idea, especially if you go with something like Heartsteel or you go with something like Jack Show, then that would be a little bit crazy actually.
Oh, absolutely. I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. Like I'm
Yeah,
genuinely surprised I haven't seen it yet.
I want to see the different builds that we're just gonna be seeing actually just throughout this entire season, especially since they buffed anti-heal
Mhm.
like in general. So
That was
all
so
the
needed.
exactly. So like all for the like enchanters, all for like the healing characters and even like the bruisers who relied on getting that healing from their ultimates and from their abilities. Now it's a little bit difficult for them because all you have to do is just go Bramble Vest and then boom, you're done. Like it's a wrap.
But even
So
before that, like
yeah,
I would still find myself building a lot of grievous wounds, but I never felt like it was doing anything.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like I would build the Chemtech Putrefier, or I would build Morellos, and it would
Mm.
just I didn't feel like it was helping with anything because the enemy team was still healing like crazy,
healing. Yeah,
and just I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm really hoping that this buff to the grievous items is
yeah.
gonna help at least a little bit of something. So I'm
I want to
not
see
being
it.
run down by a 1 million point tank who keeps healing all the damage I do to him.
Heartsteel 1,000 stacks Mundo. Like
It is
good
so
god.
awful. I can't play against it.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. Especially like even like me being a top lane mate, it's like it's so bad seeing a Mundo or just see or even like a Scion just run you down with Heartsteel. It's like, bro,
It's like, what can you
okay.
do about that? What can you do about that?
Everything I do, I just tickle them. I'm like, okay, that's cool,
It's
dude.
like it could absolutely be the fact that I'm a low elo player, or it could be the fact that
Oh, that's true. It
I
could be
solely
a
play
little even.
support, so maybe it's just the fact that I don't have that damage.
Oh, that's right.
But I can't do anything against it. I can't even out heal it. Like if I'm playing a healer support, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. That's another thing as well is like going into like enchanters and like playing those what you would think like people like Lulu, Sona, Yumi, they're good. I mean they're great characters, but if you're going against something like a Mumu, say something like Blitzcrank or even Nautilus, which they're actually buffing Nautilus, which I'm very surprised about.
I'm actually not surprised. I'm kind of glad he's
Really?
getting that buff.
Oh gosh.
I think Nautilus needed a little bit of something.
Is that the support name coming out from you, or is this
I
like
don't even play
a little
Nautilus.
bias?
I don't even
Huh?
play Nautilus. I just feel like he needed a little bit of something.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, like going into that and when you're laning into that and seeing the move from last week, they make so much space during that laning phase to where if you don't capitalize or if you're not able to make the space with the enchanters, then it's like and then you have to like rely on team fights, which
Mhm.
I think the team fights went their way with Lulu. It's just again that Rise
Yeah.
is just an amazing character. I didn't even realize that he was that good of a character. I never even realized.
I
And that's
forgot
the
that
low
they
elo
had
part.
buffed him. I forgot that they gave him that little buff.
I didn't even realize they buffed him.
I'm
I
pretty
didn't
sure. I remember there being a buff.
This game changes every 2 weeks. I check when I can, you know?
Yeah.
Only check when I can. Director, what is the status with the game, man? Soon.
Soon.
Okay. Okay. Because I am dying to watch the play. Even draft. I just want to see the draft.
I want to see what we pick.
Yeah.
I
I do wanna
I'm
see what we
excited
pick.
to see our comp. I'm a little bit worried to see the enemy team's comp.
I want to say I'm worried, but then again, I want to say, see, that's different because like last week we had some information on like
Like
who
what the
Queen,
enemy
yeah,
playing.
exactly who they're playing. We don't know what Queens is playing. I didn't do any research, which I should have done research.
I also probably should have
Yeah,
did
on
research,
what they're
and I did
playing.
not.
And so I don't know what I don't even know what's gonna happen. So I don't know if they're gonna have You know what? Nah. See, the thought came in my mind. I was like, well, what if they go a tanky comp and just go Heartsteel with like Sion in top lane, and then like have something like Shen in mid lane, like. And then I just started getting mad the more I thought about it. So we're gonna leave that behind. I hopefully they don't have a tanky comp, and so, but dude, you know, nah, you know what really broke my heart last week
What broke
that
your
we didn't
heart?
get to see was that Shen. I wanted to see the Shen one trick. I thought that would have been so
I think
cool.
what broke my heart more than the Shen one trick, we didn't get to see the end of the game. I heard from some of the guys like how
I
that
did break
ended,
my
and
heart.
I wish
Yeah,
we could have seen that.
the second game broke my heart. Yeah,
Apparently, it was like a crazy end.
it was apparently the Nexus was 13 health, coming from all the guys saying, and I don't know how, but they got team wiped even though it was at 13 health. I'm like, dude, but apparently they were all team like. That would have been so nice to cast, honestly. Seeing them
Swear.
5v5
That would have been such a
while
good
hitting the
clip too.
Nexus.
Like we
It's
could
like,
have clipped that.
let's
We could have
exactly. Content could have been
content. It
content
could have
and
been
content
content,
lost. Content lost.
which is so
Ridiculous.
upsetting.
So upsetting. I'm currently taking this Red Bull right now, ridiculously. I'm getting another Red Bull.
Already.
What you got in there? Yeah, already, of course. Of course. First game hasn't even started, but I'm prepping. This is the
You're
we would
getting
say
yourself ready.
it's the pregame. This is like the pregame scrim before the game actually starts. And so I'm not going with three because that's dangerous. Do not drink
More
more
than
than three Red Bulls. It's no more than two. It's dangerous, unhealthy, and if you do, drink 2 gallons of water afterwards, and you'll be all right. My parents are severely worried about me, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. That's what comes with it. But
honestly, I was gonna try and drink a little bit more of this before I tried putting it in Pepsi to see how it tasted. But like,
yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. But all right. So, I am running out of ideas.
I'm also
I
running
won't
out of
lie to you.
ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things I could randomly bring up. Like I've thought about a bunch of silly team comps that probably wouldn't work. That's just for silly.
Yeah, that would just be the
Oh,
low of us.
and we're in
Finally,
the
here we
draft.
go. Here we go. That is a unique logo, actually. I like
It's just
that.
a Q.
Do like that.
It reminds me of like a Superman S, but it's a Q.
Here we go. We have the Heckram band from Point Park.
And the Caston band from
Oh,
Queens.
we are banning Cassidy.
We do not get to see Highway on the Cassidon today.
And
Or at least for
Queens-
now. We don't know
Queens
about
definitely
next
looked
game.
for that.
And the Maokai band.
That's a smart band. That's a
Mm-hmm.
very smart band from Queens. Well, it's the second band. Just one more band after these bands, and then we'll be going on the first pick.
Ash. Also a pretty good band.
Ass support, super nasty.
Ash just in general is so nasty, whether she's on ADC or support, because
Yeah,
her
that's
auto
true.
attack's
Yeah.
just slow, and so no matter how
Yeah.
hard you try and run away, you can't run away, and then she has her ult on
This is
top
very
of that.
true. Alright. The Sejuani band. Okay, see, now this kind of catches me off guard a little bit because I wouldn't have thought that they would ban Sejuani. I would have definitely thought that they would ban a Malphite or they would ban Darius since
No,
that's
they
what
want this- they don't
Kakid
want the they don't want Sejuani.
is. Yeah, they don't want any. They don't want to deal with Sejuani at all. Which
But they don't know our plan, so
yeah, exactly. They don't know the plan. They're gonna get caught off guard. Going to the third ban.
And the Silas ban.
Okay. Okay.
not a bad ban either. Silas is so hard to play against right now.
Yeah, this is true. And then especially with Silas's art where he could just hack people.
But the Caitlyn pick.
Caitlyn, wow. Yeah, no, this is gonna be pretty rough for Point Park because Caitlyn does so much damage, especially if she gets that first item and then goes into BF sword. That's just so much damage output.
She also has so much range. We need someone who can like poke out a lot.
Exact-
The Karma is actually
Karma,
really good
yep.
for that. Especially with Mantra Q, just throw over a Mantra Q and just hope she stands in it long enough.
Exactly. And now we have V. So we're gonna see. We saw this V pick last week, and
Bye.
it did. Oh, Vi.
Sorry.
Vi. But I didn't feel like we couldn't see its true potential because of how that second game went.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can see more of this Vi and just more of this potential, more plays from this Vi
And it
this
looks
week.
like Vi's gonna be going in the Wukong.
Okay, and see, Wukong is really good right now, so this is gonna be a very interesting. It's gonna be a very interesting team fight. especially with those clones. Those clones are so annoying.
I can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
I should be
So
good at telling them
hard.
apart, but I can't.
So
And
hard to
they
tell
got the
apart.
Lulu pick.
Wow, the Lulu pick. Now, Lulu and Caitlyn, that's going to be a strong bot lane. It's going to be a very strong
Are we
bot
gonna see
lane.
the Twisted Fate?
Twisted Fate?
Oh my god!
And the League
The
client.
reconnect.
The classic League client.
Right as we were gonna see if we got that Twisted Fate.
Yes,
Oh my god!
you'd love to see it.
That is Riot Games for you.
But I'm excited to see the Twisted Fate, actually. If Point Park chooses Twisted Fate, there's a lot of plays that can be made, especially in the top lane, especially in bot lane with that ultimate. He's such presence. It's almost like Shen, but I won't say better than Shen.
Okay, we're
But-
back in and we got a Varus pick.
Oh, a Varus pick. Okay, so we didn't go into TF.
You know, I do remember Highway mentioning that.
Yeah, I would have loved. Wait, so in the
The
Varus
Varus?
mid.
No, I don't think it was Varus. I think it's
Oh,
Varus
sweet.
ADC.
Okay, Varus ADC. Okay,
Because he wasn't just telling me things they had for like mid lane ideas. He was talking in general. I just couldn't
the
remember
entire
anything.
comp in general.
Yeah, Varus and Karma together, that is fantastic.
That's a
because
lot of poke damage.
That's a lot of poke.
Yeah,
With the shields, it gives Varus some extra move speed.
this is true. Yes, and then Varus hits level 6, and that's probably a free kill if Karma hits the tether.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have a Victor ban from Point Park, which that's as their 4th ban. That's pretty interesting. That could be the
Oh, they got the
Darius ban.
Darius ban
Wow. Okay.
Okay, that's a little upsetting.
Yeah,
that
that
pains
is.
me to see.
Well, it. Kind of catches me off guard because you would think that the Sejuani ban would be for top lane. To be honest.
Well, I think they both are. I think
Yeah.
they're just targeting top lane right now because right now all that's left is mid and top, and I think they're targeting that
That's
top.
fair. Ban the Aurelia, which is what I do know is that is one of Queen's top lane's comfort picks. So
The
ban the
Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser. I think this is very interesting, but Kaki could just go in the Malphite here. Could easily go into he mentioned Set. Set is my comfort pick. That's my main. So he said he was like, Ricky, I might go Set. So he's gonna make my day if he goes Set. It's gonna make my day.
And we got the Lissandra.
Lissandra that you mentioned earlier, that's exciting to see.
This is a comp with a lot of CC. We got
This is true. This is a lot of CC that
we
Point
got
Park
Karma
has.
Tether. We got Varus ult. We got. I'm pretty sure Vi has a knockup. Lissandra ult.
Yep. Well, Vi also has the stun with the dash,
Oh, she does.
and then also the knockup from the ultimate.
Okay, so we got a Scion, and it looks like it's gonna be a Rise for the enemy team.
See now, Scion, that's gonna be
Or
difficult
Rumble.
to deal with in general because even if Scion goes 0-7, because of how the character is, especially with that passive, still being alive, being able to push lanes, he can go 0-10 and still win the game. for
And the
Queens.
Rumble
The
is
Rumble
frustrating. I am not a Rumble enjoyer. I actually hate
Yeah.
that champion with all of my being. Because I never see a Rumble. Nobody ever plays Rumble.
It's
but the
funny,
people
they
who do
always mess
are
with them.
so good at Rumble.
It's
that
like
I-
Kled.
It's like literally. And we got the Cassante.
Cassante! Wow.
Okay, that one is surprising.
That I would have never expected a Cassante pick.
But honestly, it's not a bad pick.
It's not. It's. Oh wow. I don't know. Wow. I'm so shocked, Gil, that I can't even talk. This is interesting. Like especially I can't wait to see this laning phase between Sion and Cassante because with Cassante's passive does more damage and also with the second Q has the knockup, which could be a lot of potential in team fights and also in the 1v1 with Sion, but then you also have the level 6 to where you are, pushes them over, could be over a wall terrain, or you could do the classic combo, you knock them back and then you R them into the tower. So this could be very interesting, but Cassante almost has as much sustain as Sion when it comes to having the same builds.
Honestly, I'm really excited to see this Cassante. I have
Yeah.
not seen Kakid on Cassante.
Never seen him on Cassante ever.
But
This is
this
crazy.
is gonna be so cool to see.
Yeah.
I hate playing against Cassante. I'm gonna put that,
Because
First, I hate
Cassante
playing
has
against
so
Cassante 'cause
much
he's-
sustain.
but
his
I am
team lost
excited to
his
see Kakid on him.
And then Sion has sustained. Honestly, okay. I think that lane is gonna be a stalemate, to be honest. It's gonna be entertaining to watch, but I think overall it will be a stalemate probably until 12 or 15 minutes into the game when like team fights actually start happening and people start going probably for like either the second Rift Herald or the second Dragon. That's when we'll start seeing more of the Scion and the Cassante kind of flourish out a little bit. But during the
Mhm.
laning phase, there won't be much going on. I think this bot lane is going to dictate the entire game. Either that or the Rise pick, because we saw
100%.
Rise last week. That's a
Honestly,
terrifying character.
I feel like if Highway can keep that Rise at bay
Yeah,
for long enough
definitely.
for our bot lane to kind of maybe power over theirs,
Mm.
we should be good.
Well,
I
especially
think
with
we
the
should be
Kate
good.
and the Lulu, Queens ideally shouldn't have much pressure in that bot lane. It shouldn't be too much considering if Caitlyn kites, if Caitlyn is a good kiter, which kiting, if no one knows League, kiting is kind of auto attacking, basically just maintaining the space while auto attacking. But if she's a good kiter, then it could be hard for point blank, especially with Lulu. She enchants the auto attacks as well, so that's
Mhm.
even more damage. So it depends. It depends on how the Lulu is gonna play this.
But
But
now that I'm thinking about it with Varus, I'm really curious to see what Varus build he's gonna go.
that's true.
Because Varus, you can go AP, on hit, attack speed.
Yeah, I would honestly just like to see on hit, to be honest,
Mhm.
because I believe.
Or
Correct me
maybe,
if I'm wrong. Is it the Q with the arrow? The charged
yeah, that's Q.
yeah, the Q. The charge Q. I mean, you build oh my goodness. You build the Omnivamp item, the Omnivamp Mythic.
The shield bow?
No, not the shield bell.
Mythic.
It's the Mythic. It is the eye. It is it's the purple. It's an item that's magic and it does a lot of damage. It also gives some sustain to Varus.
That's an eye.
Yeah.
It's an eyeball, and it is for on hit.
Could be for on. It actually
Right?
could just be for sustain. All right, never mind about that then.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to go. I'm like going through
Yeah,
the
no,
item list to try
I
to figure
can't
out
remember
which
it
one.
for my life right
The
now.
only thing that's like kind of purple with an eye on it that I can think about right now is Umbral Glaive, but that's more of like a support item
Yeah, this is true.
that I've seen a couple like
I guess
junglers
it's more
build.
like this is more gold, and then it has like a
More
pink eye.
gold with a pink eye.
Sorry, we're going on like a tangent right now. There, by the way, there is there's a delay for the draft, so they will be in the game, but we'll be 3 minutes behind, but we should be in the loading screen in a bit. So that's why we're going on this tangent on what the heck the item is. But I heard something,
I
but
also heard something, but I was not able to discern what was said.
yeah. But anyways, could do shield bow. Could do shield bow, and then
I've also seen some Varus's build Kraken Slayer.
really,
Yeah, I've seen it. I've also
I
just
would
done
have
it
thought
in
Nashor's
ARAM.
tooth.
Well, Nashor's Tooth is you can build that and Kraken at the same time
I did not know that.
because Kraken, the Nashor's Tooth is not. I get him confused. I don't remember which is like the big one. I think it's Mythic is like Shield Bow and Kraken Slayer, and then the next one is Legendary, and that would be Nashor's Tooth.
Yes. Yes.
I could absolutely be wrong. I
believe
don't
that's
look
how
at.
it
I
is.
don't remember the names of things. I remember pictures and.
Yeah, no, it's pictures. Yo. Next time we should probably have like an overlay of like all,
Give
just
us a little
all
list.
the items in
give us a
league,
little
and then
list.
we'll just pick it out for the viewers. Like maybe it'll be
We
an
can
idea.
like have
we
like a
could-
little thing like taped right here.
Oh
just,
my
like,
gosh.
items and like
A
what
puzzle
they're
board.
classified. Yeah.
That would be so bad.
And we're in.
Let's go. Here we are, 46 into a minute in to the first game. Point Park versus Queens, best of 3. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Like the
I
mic
heard it
picked
on the
up
mic.
that. Oh my gosh. All right,
And
here
now
we
we're
go.
watching Rumble just do a little dance.
Hitting a little jig.
I hate Rumble.
It seems like we're not gonna get an invade, which is pretty fair. I don't think that both. Well,
I don't
Point
think
Park
our-
could have invaded.
I don't think either of us have like a really good level 1 to invade because
Yeah, this is true.
correct me if I'm wrong, I did read someone say that Vi has a really bad level 1.
Yeah.
I was reading a lot of I get bored and I peruse like league communities, whether that's on Reddit or Twitter or the YouTube thing, and people were saying that Vi does not have a good level 1 because she needs the rest of her abilities to
That makes
be
sense.
good. So an invade with Vi, I feel like is probably not the best move, and I just don't know enough about Wukong to say whether that would be a good move for the enemy or not. Oh, but the Varus hiding in the Varus and Karma hiding in the bush.
That was a good play, but it seemed like that backfired
We did
on them.
lose the trade just because Caitlyn has that damage.
And as I mentioned before, Caitlyn is kiting the karma really hard.
Oh, absolutely.
It's looking pretty even in the top side. Both
Okay,
of the
but
top
Varus is
laners.
doing some damage here.
Oh, here we go.
I do like the W start. I don't know a lot about
W
Varus,
start.
but the few times I've played, I've always started Q. But the W start is
That's
kind of cool.
interesting.
That's kind of cool. Because it gives them that extra poke, especially against that Caitlyn who has that range.
Definitely, and yeah, Kate with a ton of range, especially with the headshot passive. And Lulu is just walking down Karma. They're having like a little 1v1 over there. It's looking pretty even between Cassante and, well, I thought pretty even, but Cassante has a lot of pressure on the Scion right now.
Okay, and mid lane looks like it's doing okay. Rumble is
Oh
using
my
his
gosh,
flamethrower
Rumble
because
is
he's allowed to do
just
that.
so annoying.
I'm going to try and talk without bias on this, but I will probably talk a little
It's
bit
hard to
about
like
the champion.
Rumble.
I hate Rumble as a champion.
A massive play from Cassante just beating down on the Scion, and that nearly looked like the first pick going to Point Park.
He's just running around with a flamethrower because he can.
Do you think that we're gonna see some rotates from Queen since he does have that Rumble? That level 6 is really strong.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, there's going to be some rotations. Karma is low on health right now, and Lulu keeps pushing up. This could go either way down in the bot lane. There could be.
Loving the slow push from Cassante. Well, kind of like a mini slow push right there, but do what you can with that wave. But yeah, the bot lane is.
They could absolutely get that kill on Karma, but if they get too greedy and move.
Oh, this
Oh,
Lulu is
Lulu got the
aggressive.
first. That.
Wow.
Holy crap.
The Lulu just walked up. It's just kind of like, I don't want to say not playing with the Caitlyn, but he just walked up for free, basically.
Yeah.
That's just very, very different gameplay from Lulu right there.
Yeah, but it looks like Highway and his Lissandra are doing pretty okay at keeping that Rumble in bay. Rumble got rooted.
Rumble's doing a lot of damage to Lissandra, and just seemed like not very. Well, it's hard to trade against Rumble. It really is.
It's so hard.
It's just irritating.
But as long as, like, if
The
Highway
CS.
doesn't pick a fight and just keeps CSing and gets to that level 6, I think he'll be good.
I think CSing will be very important in general, because that's honestly what led to our defeat last week, was just the micro. Just consistently CSing. That was what really held us. It would hit 15 minutes, and then CSing was kind of just non-existent at one point. And Rumble looking to get nearly the
Oh, there's a
kill.
fight in the jungle right up near top lane. Looks like Kakita and his Cassante are going to be going in on that Scion.
Oh,
But Rumble does get the tower dive off on Highway.
At the cost of his flash, but gets a first kill and also gets 2 stacks on Darkseal, which on Rumble, that's going to be really annoying to deal with, because if you let him stack the Darkseal, then that's a lot of movement speed.
Looks like they're doing some trading up in top lane. See, with Cassante, you can never tell if he's winning or losing, because even if he gets low health, he can still jump right
Exactly.
back from that.
And do a
Especially
ton of
after
damage.
level 6. Like, right now he's only level 5, but if once he hits that level 6, like, he can just turn that all around.
Look at this Lulu. This Lulu is just very unique with the gameplay. Like, it's almost as if she's the ADC.
Actually, though.
Oh, and it seems like Queen's going to get that first plate of... Did they get that first plate of bot lane?
I do think they got first
They
plate.
do.
Oh, but Varus is going in.
Varus
I
is
think
going
he
in.
might get that Lulu
Could
pick.
be 2
Will
kills.
he get that Lulu pick? And he gets the...
Oh, and Flash is out. Wow. What a play. What a play by Kai right there.
Our bot lane is low, but so is theirs.
Oh, and Varus hit the Q. Leaving
Caitlyn is not dead right now, just
Kate is
because
practically one shot right now.
it looks like she's going to be able to recall out of there, but I think we did win that trade.
Very solid play from bot lane. So,
Their
Rumble-
mid lane is roaming around.
Oh no. And here we go. And as you mentioned earlier, Rumble is starting to rotate, and it seems like Rumble might get
They
these
need the
2
backup out of there.
kills.
They need the backup out of there.
Oh, but Rumble already has ult, so that might be 2 free kills. Maybe 3. Oh my gosh, there's so much damage output from Rumble right now. Oh, the Sorcerer boots. Rumble has Sorcerer boots along with Darkseal. Bless you.
Sorry, I was trying to hold that in.
All good, all good. Seems like Queens is just on top of this dragon right now. See, this what makes it hard for Point Park, because once mid lane, whoever gets that level 6 prio, that honestly plays in that. What am I trying to say? That plays into getting the prio over the dragon, especially also with waves pushed.
It does look like we are going to take first... Not we. They're going to be taking first drag from us.
That's all right. It is a Chemtech drag, so that might be a little daunting, but it's okay. Compared to like a wind drag, per se. If it's a wind first drag, then some
not
people will
that
say
bad,
it's whatever, but this is a Chemtech drag.
All right, looking up at top lane, we got Cassante moving up. That Vi could go in for that dive because right now Sion is pushed up so hard. Why is he just walking in circles?
Seems like
Why is-
Sion is gonna, Sion's gonna proxy farm.
Oh,
This
and
lane.
Highway going up to get it that engage on that Sion.
I'm loving this. I'm loving the very fast rotate. As soon as they saw that Sion was gonna go and try to proxy camp, then they were like, okay, this is a free kill, free
And
gold.
Highway gets that kill up
Wow.
off on the Sion. Sion is in his passive just beating the absolute crap out of our jungler.
Ooh, thank goodness Sion did not get that pick because it would have made Sion dying just worthless. And you see Sion going into lethality, which that means he'll probably going into Prowler's Claw Sion, which
Oh, I haven't seen that.
yes, I've seen builds like this. It's very dangerous because while he's alive, maybe it's not a lot of damage, but when he's in that passive, when he dies, does a ton of damage,
Oh my-
at least the squishies. So this is, and it's also having Cole, just building up Cole as well. CS I can say very even. There's a 30 CS difference, although in bot lane, just because of the Kate and Lulu pressure. But Varus also has 1 kill, so kind of
Yeah.
bounces out a little bit. But give him a Sandra
And
that
their
pick.
ADC doesn't have the kill on our Karma.
This is true.
That went to the Lulu.
Thank goodness.
And while Lulu, fantastic if she gets a kill. But I feel like that kill would have done so much better on Caitlyn.
Would have done so much more better than Kate.
And I say this as a support player who steals kills all the time.
And Lulu nearly died just there, coming from that Q and that Karma poke. That Karma poke is really playing in it's really flourishing out, like you said, Gil. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the thing with Caitlyn has such a big auto attack range.
So
And
much
so if you
utility
don't
as well.
if you don't have any sort of poke, like to keep her away long
Right.
enough to like
To
so
efficiently
that she's
trade.
not auto attacking you, then you're gonna be a little bit screwed over. But with Karma and Varus, they do have that poke with the Varus Q, with the Varus W, with the Karma Q. They're able to keep that Caitlyn at bay and far enough away from them to make some pretty even trades.
I can just tell this is just so annoying for Cassante to deal with because Sion proxy farming. It's almost like Singe. You kind of just have to deal with it because if you do deal with it, then you miss out on wave, which means missing out on XP.
Oh, and Rumble is rotating up.
I'm rotating
It
again.
doesn't.
Oh, it could have been a possible play by Cassante, but it was just a little
But
bit
it
short.
did not work out in the long run. That is unfortunate.
If we could see a beautiful Q from Varus right here, I would lose my mind.
Honestly, yeah, Varus can get that Q off on that Caitlyn. She is dead.
So
But it's not look like she's gonna get it off.
a very
We
interesting.
just got the Caitlyn ult down.
Yeah, very interesting ult from Kate. I'm not sure what the mindset was.
I think maybe we just
Sure.
tried to scare them off of the tower a little bit.
This is true, yeah. And they ended up doing it as well. They ended up preventing the bot lane getting that plate, which is
Looks
kinda
like
desperately
Vi is
needed.
fighting this Sion who's just getting to proxy.
A 4K gold difference right now between Queens and Point Park. I didn't even
This is true.
realize that is. It's because the Remble, and Remble already has the stopwatch. So if there's any case of him dying,
Oh, it's Sion
even
is just
lower now.
BMing. He's emoting. Not letting
it's-
Vi recall. But that is going to be a 3v2 or more like a 3v1. Vi is low health, and I don't know if it would be a good idea for her to take this fight up right now.
Ideally, and they're gonna do it as well. Sion.
We
whoa.
got- Did we get a pick?
Got a pick on Wukong. Vi got a pick on Wukong, but
But Rumble
unfortunately-
did get that kill on
Yep,
Vi.
Rumble gets the kill on Vi, which that's 8 stacks on Dark Seal now. Also having the Sorcerer Boots, especially with that ability. Do not know its name, but it gets 40% ability power, which makes him even stronger now. So it's the mids is looking rough right now for Point Park when it comes to at least in the mid lane because he's 4-0. So much damage output now, and it's just rough. And see, second dragon coming up now, and this is the Wind Dragon. She's at Point Park. Going to try to group for this. Probably get a pick on
Okay,
bot
the Varus
lane,
ult. Lulu ulted on herself.
and that's going to
We
be.
do get the pick on the
Yes.
Caitlyn, and we get the pick on the Lulu as well. But Varus does die too. I want to say that was
And that's a little bit rough.
Ignite. He did
Yes.
just die to Ignite, which is unfortunate. But that was a
Kaki
a 2 to
giving
1 trade.
Sion. Kaki giving Sion the
But it
business.
does not look like
What?
he's gonna make it out alive just because
Oh.
of Sion's passive.
Also, with the Prowler's Claw that Sion went
Mm-hmm.
into, is able to chase a little bit, which that is annoying. But now we have Iceborne Gauntlet that Cassandra is going to, which I think Kaki going into Iceborne Gauntlet is a pretty solid play, especially for the Rumble, for Kate.
I
considering the clan
absolutely
as well.
agree.
So a little bit drink of the
Queens
Red Bull.
is on drag right now. I don't think we can try and rotate down there. I think it would be better if we just stayed in our own lanes. But if they did try to rotate down there, we would need.
And see,
We
this
would
is
need-
what's unfortunate because of the last fight, right? They came off with 2 picks, Point Park, but Varus died. And you have at that point you have the dragon coming up in 10 seconds. So now you lose some of that dragon pride that you had, and some of that pressure because of the Varus. And so not having that Varus, it makes it just really hard. And so they're gonna give up second dragon Point Park, but
and
now
it looks like it's going to be Hex Soul.
Hexol. Okay, that's gonna be a little. Well, it'll be hard, but
Oh,
I
it'll
mean,
suck.
come on. Yeah,
It'll be so bad. But we are trading
It'll
Dragon
suck.
for Rift Herald.
I do like this rift.
I didn't even notice that we were doing that. That's a good move.
It is.
I think we knew that we weren't going to be able to get that dragon, and so we made the call. Okay, well, if you guys are going to get dragon, we're going to take Rift Herald from you.
Rumble with first item going into.
Oh, Rumble is engaging on that Karma. Let's see
Wow.
if Lissandra can come back down. Varus is.
Here's a little bit.
He ulted to
Okay,
get
no.
himself out of there, which I think was probably his best move.
Yeah, probably the best play. Lulu's
Caitlyn and
very
Lulu were
aggressive.
just running him down. Oh, there's some Kassan. There's
A little bit of
little
some
bit.
action from top lane, not
little
too
bit.
much. You know, they're just tangoing right now. But bot lane having so much pressure and also taking that turret, it's a little bit rough for Point
we
Park
are
now.
going to be losing first turret. Yep.
Losing first turret, but also have Rift. I'm excited to see where Vi uses this Rift. Could use it in mid to alleviate some pressure.
Oh, I would
from
absolutely
Rumble.
use it on mid.
Use it on mid.
Absolutely. If we can get that pick on on Rumble
And see,
and
like
then
they're
clear
going
out
to
that
go
minion
for that.
wave, I think we can.
Could be the possible pick. Could it be given to
Oh,
and
and
they
the
give
Varus.
the shutdown gold to Bears. That is huge. Absolutely huge for Point Park, actually.
Now we have a 3-in-1 Varus.
Exactly. A 3-1 Varus and a fed Varus is
It's
a
a good
dangerous
Varus.
Varus. Very
I
dangerous
also have
Varus.
just realized that their Caitlyn doesn't have any of the kills. Lulu has gotten both of those kills.
And see, now that's unfortunate because while Queens is playing very well right now, if you don't start giving Caitlyn those kills,
It's gonna be bad.
it's gonna be detrimental. Definitely.
Like I was saying earlier, I know as a support, I have a tendency to steal kills. It's a little bit of a bad tendency, and it feels great to be fed. But in a game like this, you need that Caitlyn
need
to have
that
those
ADC,
kills.
yeah.
Because yeah, sure, you're a fed Lulu, but then Caitlyn doesn't have anything.
Yeah, you want to get the ADC online as fast as possible.
And a fed Caitlyn would really if that Caitlyn was fed in any capacity, this game would probably be over in 15. Well, I mean
So
it is
smart.
15 right now. It would be over by now.
I do think that's smart though that the Varus went into Immortal Shield though instead of building boots first. Unlike the Caitlyn went into boots first, which I mean it's always good.
But Caitlyn did build Gale Force.
Oh well, there we go. We got Gale Force online now, which gives Kate a free dash on top of the flash. So that might the rhyming schemes are crazy right now. Okay, anyways, all right. So the map is looking pretty open right now. No objectives are really up. I would love to see Lissandra just keep on keeping up and just keep on microing, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like next drag is in 2 minutes. We got a Rift Herald in about 3.
I would love to see Point Park at least contest this drag, at least show some presence in this drag, but it is really hard considering Rumble. It seems like Rumble is gonna almost has Zanya's, which that is gonna be even more scary.
See, I feel like them actually leaving the dragons alone was probably their best move. They knew that that wasn't going to be a fight they were going to be able to take. They knew that was going to be something they were going to lose. And so, not only would they have been giving up dragon, they would have been giving the enemy some kills.
Exactly.
By just letting them have the dragon and not really contesting it, you prevent them from getting those kills in that dragon.
On massive fight
'Cause-
in mid lane though. And
It's going to push us back up under tower.
but
Karma
Sion and Rumble come out of nowhere as well.
They do get the pick on Karma, Lissandra, and Vi. That is a
Five-man.
5-man in the
Five-man
mid lane,
rotate, wow.
and they take that tower. But it does look like Varus and Cassante are going to be rotating towards mid to try and protect that last tower.
But I don't think it's.
But I don't think they're going to be able to.
And Sion is looking very massive right now. I mean, you're starting to see the Sion pick kind of dictate these team fights now, especially with being so tanky, along with the fact that I'm not gonna lie, the fact that he's so tanky,
But he built Prowler's Claw.
but builds full lethality and is able to just do whatever he wants is
It's so broken. It's not fair.
It's interesting. It's we'll do interesting instead of broken. I'll call it interesting. But it seems like Point Park is gonna try to do an all-out brawl. Oh, we're doing an
We
all-out
got the
brawl.
Vi
For this
ult
dragon.
on the Caitlyn. Karma coming in from the side. Lulu does flash back over the wall, I believe.
Oh,
But
Caitlyn
Caitlyn gets the pick
Vi.
on the Vi. Caitlyn ults. Cassante gets pretty hurt. It does look like Varus got a pick on Caitlyn.
It was very interesting to see the Varus get the pick on Kate because I believe that stopped. I believe it stopped Caitlyn's ultimate, but it
No,
still didn't.
Caitlyn's ultimate went through.
Oh, it went through. Unfortunate.
And
Oh,
Varus
but
gets
Varus
the
gets the pick.
on the
See?
Lulu.
This is going to be an ADC. Then
But
I'm already
Rumble
getting
is
the
just
vibes.
lighting him on fire because he has the ability to do that, and Wukong takes the kill from him. Highway is running away.
It was a great fight from Point Park, but I mean, once you have Wukong and Rumble come in, that's the thing. You have to worry about the Caitlyn and Lulu combo, which that's a
I'm
team.
just glad they got out of there.
That's a team fight all in itself, to be honest, with Kate and Lulu, because considering the Lulu R, that makes you bigger, gives them that buffs them, and then you have Wukong come in, and then the Fed
does.
Rumble, Dark. I believe that is. Oh, that is Liu's book.
Magi's.
Yeah, or yeah, Mada's book gives him so much more damage, and also has the rod that gives him 60% ability power as well. This Rumble is looking very dangerous.
This is not a dragon that we can contest again. And Sion hiding in the bush might get that pick on that Karma, but she does have the movement speed to get herself out of there.
Sion. See now, going in 18 minutes, 3 dragons to queens. This is looking really rough for Point Park right now. I believe the only play that we could have is honestly the sit and farm. Karma still level 9, Vi level 10. Can't really contest this Sion.
Well, it's
to be
kind of like
honest.
even with the other team too, because Lulu is also level 10, Caitlyn is also level 10. The only thing about it is Wukong is level 11, which is only one up from. But you're right, farming would come in handy right now. The enemy does get the Rift Herald, and it does look like they're going to be able to get that pick off on our Karma.
Wow. What a play by.
I think Vi and Varus should back up. Cassante would also need to back up, but I don't.
Still
They'll
like
be fine if the
Cassante-
enemy doesn't rotate up, but they are going to rotate up.
Cassandra's gonna get dove on. And it seems like the client is being client's
Yeah.
being a little bit weird.
You know,
but
I swear, if
let's get a
they,
break.
I swear, if it's the thing where we didn't get to see the end of it again, I'm going to be a little bit upset.
Hopefully it won't be that thing,
I
but
am so hopeful.
we do have a lot to talk about though. Point Park's having a rough game.
They really are.
Yeah, it seemed like bot lane is kind of it's really weird. Bot lane's doing their thing right now. Varus is 5-1.
Oh, we're
Caitlyn-
back into the
Here we
game.
go. And it seems like they're going to try to end the game with Rift
And it
Herald.
does look like they might.
This Sion pick is just
Sion is just
Wow.
going off. And the Rumble. Like I said, I knew Rumble was going to be a problem. I hate that champion. I hate that champion with all of my being. He just runs around with a flamethrower.
the Queens is about to get 2 inhibs now, which 2 inhibs at 20 minutes. It could be this could be different. This could play into Point Park's hand actually, because Point Park, they get the super minions. They could sit be like, hey guys, let's defend. Let's just farm up, and they could get into the same level, get some, well, hopefully get into the same items. But it's looking a bit dangerous now because I didn't notice, but Kate has Affinity Edge. That's
Oh,
dangerous.
you're
And
right.
now Rumble has Shadow, I believe that's Shadowverse. Something.
Shadow Flame.
Yeah, Shadow Flame. And that item in itself is very scary, especially when you're fed as well. So this is, it's
doesn't help.
looking like
They
it's
have
over.
the gold lead on us. That is over a 10k gold lead.
Wow.
This is going to be hard for Point Park, but if they can manage to scale and snowball harder than the enemy can, we can bring it back.
It's gonna
But
take a
right
minute.
now, it's going to be really hard.
It's
Because
gonna
they are
take a
on
minute.
Baron. I don't know if we know they're on Baron or not, but I don't think this is something we can test, even if we did know.
And then now you have the Scion doing regular Scion things, split pushing, and oh my goodness,
Oh my-
and
They just
So much
melted
damage
Vi's
output.
entire health bar.
so much damage output by Wukong and Kate there, and the Caitlyn starting to flourish out a little bit. I'm loving
Cassandra
the Wit's
fighting.
End. Oh wow.
Oh my god.
I don't mind the Wit's End and Amotosubo by Varus. I think it was a good play. But going into this comp, especially into a Scion and into a Wukong, I think some pen would have been would have been nice maybe.
See, I have to disagree. I feel like
Really?
Shield Bow was absolutely the move here because they do have the Scion and they do have the Rumble, and the Shield Bow gives you that little bit of extra shield.
Also true. But wow, and Queens wasted no time. They get Baron, they get 2 inhibs, and it seems like that's just going to be the first game right there.
And we got Lulu ult on Rumble, so we have a massive Yordle and a massive mech.
Wow, what a play by Queens. They wasted no time. It seemed like last game or last week's game compared to this week's game. Last week's game there was a lot of I don't want to say idle, but they would the other team would get Baron and they would sit farming, just kind of like playing for dragons and stuff. But with this team,
They just kept going.
it didn't
going,
matter. They were
going.
like,
They were
okay,
just pushing through
yeah.
with it.
They were like, okay, we have 2 inhibs, let's get Baron and let's end the game, wrap it up. So that's just great gameplay by Queens. Honestly, the Rumble right there, I believe we're probably gonna see a ban from Point Blank.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I
the
don't want to
Rumble,
have to see that Rumble
Yeah,
again.
that was not fun.
That was painful to watch.
Mm.
I felt bad for Highway for having to go up against that.
Definitely, especially with the Scion pick as well. It's Scion. There wasn't really much going on when it came to the 1v1, when it came to the laning phase. But then when it came into when
The
Wukong
team
started rotating,
fights and-
exactly, team fights, Scion just started being a pest, honestly, just being a sponge when it came to damage. So, yeah.
He built like an assassin.
Yeah, this is true, which
And
makes
he
him do
still
so
got-
much damage.
He still
That was just great plays, honestly. And then in the bot lane, the Lulu, it's so weird because last week when we played Lulu, we didn't really we got out pressured, but Queens used Lulu as if like
she was an ADC.
yeah, as if she was an ADC.
She's just running around, walking up, taking kills.
Making so much space, just making so much space for Kate to just free farm, and then Kate just picking up the picks while the team fights were happening, which that was perfect. I think Queens, just them grouping in general for team fights, I think that was really solid of them. Going into the second game though, I think being a tank play, in top lane, if we see they banned Sejuani, but if we see something like Malphite possibly, or something that's a little bit more team fight oriented, other than Cassante, I think Cassante solid pick overall. It just didn't work out, but yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe just the fact that they were playing Scion. I don't know much about top lane meta and who counters who. But I don't feel like Cassante was probably a good thing in the
Cassante's a
Scion,
great
but then
pick,
also
it's
just maybe
just-
they have a really good Scion.
Yeah, this as well. Cassante is a great pick when it comes to laning phase, a lot of potential, but when it comes to team fights,
There's still a lot of potential because he
Yeah.
can take someone out of the fight,
exactly.
kill them, and come back into the fight. But the fact that he could just soak up a lot of damage,
Mm.
but Scion was just soaking up more damage
And then also
and dealing it.
Rumble also ended up taking over as well. I think something I would like to see from Highway is a little bit more rotates. It seemed like Rumble would push the lane, put with the slow push the wave, sorry, and then rotate the bot lane, pick up a kill, rotate the top lane, pick up a kill, and then
But the
come
thing
back the lane
was,
super fed.
Rumble put that pressure on Highway.
Mm.
So Highway, he couldn't just leave the tower alone
Yeah.
to go roam. He had to make sure that wave was pushed up a little bit so that tower would still survive
Yeah,
before even thinking about roaming to any other lane.
very
So he
solid
was put into a
gameplay.
really difficult position.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. The Vi, I feel weird about the Vi. I think the Vi pick was good. It's just the Rumble specifically, kind of as soon as you start going like 4-1, it was. I didn't want to say it was kind of over. He ended up having the first item, ended up stacking up Dark Seal, and you just got this freaking guy in a mech suit just kind of zooming around, making plays with the flamethrower. It's like, oh my goodness. But that's
It's like, what can
That's
you
what
do
I
about
mean.
that? What can you do about that?
yeah, that's what anybody being fed though, and any character being fed. It's really hard to play against, especially when they know how to snowball and they know how to consistently keep the snowball up. Like that was I think that was perfect gameplay by Queens. The fact that they got picks and the fact that they pushed to get the inhibs, they wasted no time to get the Baron, and then I'm not gonna lie, it caught me off guard honestly that they got Baron, and then they went straight to the base to end the game. I know
why they do that. I
It
don't
makes
see a lot of
sense.
teams do that often.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see a lot of teams do that. Maybe it's because we're low elo and we like idle
That's
time.
probably true.
But it was a very smart play. They had the Baron and they also had the waves up with the super minions, and super minions do a lot of damage by the time 20 minutes. And Point Park was still, I want to say, level 11, level 12, and going into super minions, you're taking a lot of damage from that, especially getting Baron as well. Baron super minions, you're probably fighting a champ at that point. like,
Yeah, pretty much.
but it was yeah, that was very interesting. We should be going into the second game in a few now. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit heartbroken right now, and the fact that they banned Darius, I I think Darius would have been great. I think either Darius or possibly Set maybe, because if
I
you
feel
have
like Set
Set,
could have worked. Set could
yeah,
have worked.
have Set in a Scion, and then in the team fights you just alt Scion into the team, and because of how Set
See, I think the issue with
Set's
ulting
works
Sion into the team is if you kill him, he still has his passive up, and he can still
as
get a
well.
pick on one of you.
Yeah, this is true, but then you also have to at that point, it's just a matter of keeping Scion away from everybody using Set's E, but that's all Set has. So this is yeah, this is a great point. I want to see a switch up in the top lane. Hopefully something happens there. Also with mid lane, well, I think Lissandra was a very good pick.
I do also.
Yeah,
I liked the thought process behind it.
yeah,
It just Rumble
the laning
put
phase was just
so much
rough.
pressure.
Yeah, it was just the laning phase was really rough. So hopefully I can see Lissandra again. And if we see Lissandra again, then if it's a matter of it being a mid diff and the other plane just being better, then I think it would be better to just sit, play for the CS until like mid game, 15, 20 minutes,
Hmm.
and then just flourish out during team fights because that's what the Cassiopeia did.
The first
Cassiopeia
game
did, yeah, in the
last
first
week,
game
yeah.
last week. Oh,
See,
they
but I
didn't
want
really
to
do
see.
anything.
I want to see Twisted Fate.
Yeah, I think Twisted. I think Twisted Fate would have been cool.
I don't think it would have been good for that game.
Would have been a
But I
little bit
would have
hard.
liked to see the Twisted Fate. I
Yeah.
think that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was against the Rumble, you have the yellow card to try and stun
As well, exactly. You have the yellow card to try to stun. You have the blue card for the I believe the blue card.
towers.
Oh, that's
It does good on towers.
Mm.
I don't remember if it slows
does it
or not.
slow?
It
Oh,
might.
okay.
And I think there's something about like gaining mana back.
Oh
I don't
yes,
know.
yes,
I'm
yes,
not.
yes,
I'm not a
yes.
Twisted Fate player.
And then the red card, of course, for the damage.
Mhm.
That would have been interesting, and probably would have had a little bit of Dragon Pride. I think it was kind of
And
unfortunate.
it would have helped him with the roaming because
Yeah,
I've seen Highway's Twisted Fate. I've played with Highway's Twisted Fate,
it's great.
and he is on point with those
Mm.
roaming ults.
Yeah.
But we are in the draft pick right now.
Point
We-
Park is still banning Hecarim. They don't want any business with Hecarim.
I wouldn't want business with Hecarim either. I
This
mean,
is true. This is very true. It's a very annoying character. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how Routes is gonna play this. Also, if no one knew, our support changed his name from being Lucas to PPU Ribeiro. So if anybody if he has any Lucas fans, you gotta be a Ribeiro fan now. They're banning Queen's bans Mordekaiser. They want nothing to do with Mordekaiser. Kakid has essentially first pick. They could switch it off, but I'm excited to see what they.
I am crossing my fingers that they get rid of that Rumble.
Yeah,
But we are gonna stick with the Silas ban.
it makes sense. Silas is hard to play against, and Queen's gonna stick with the Sejuani ban.
They're really targeting her top and mid.
Yeah. They definitely don't want any business. I mean, they had what is that? That's two top bans actually from Queens.
Yeah.
They don't want nothing to do with tanks or bruisers, which is understandable. We're going to the third banning phase until first pick.
And we get rid of that Caitlyn.
I'm okay with this ban. I think it's very solid, but I don't think Caitlyn had that much
Pressure in
Yeah,
that
I
game.
don't think it had a lot of pressure. It was just they were just picking up picks during the team fights. In laning phase, I think Kai was doing fine.
I think our biggest issue was Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble, definitely.
Rumble and Sion.
Yeah, Rumble and Sion for sure. I think it's funny because I said mid and bot was going to dictate this game, but I think that mid and top is going to dictate these set of matches.
Yeah, we were completely wrong on that prediction.
Yeah. But here we go.
Yeah, mid can stay at bay. Top, they're gonna keep each other just
Yeah.
even. And bot.
Exactly. We would have thought it was a stalemate. Yeah.
We did steal the Wukong from them.
I like that. I like Point Park stealing the Wukong. Definitely, I mean, great for team fights. Wukong started. We started seeing a little bit more of that Wukong from Queens in the team fights. It's really annoying. Here we go. We're the first pick from.
Gragas.
Okay.
That could be Gragas top or Gragas jungle.
Or Gragas mid. I mean,
That's true. I forgot that was a thing.
yeah. There's a lot of potential with Gragas. I mean, with especially with the barrels. The barrel do so much damage if you build them AP, and then also the ultimate that knocks them backwards into your team. I mean, there's a lot of plays that can be made with Gragas right now, and we see a Mumu. Queen's team is already looking dangerous. And here we go. Routes having the jungle right now, but I want to see what Routes picks. I would love to. Wonder if it's gonna be a top pick or a mid pick, because we already know Wukong is gonna be going jungle. We already know that.
We actually don't know that he could be a support.
Oh, what if it's Wukong top? I don't mind that. I like the Lissandra pick. I like Point Park sticking with Lissandra. We feel Lissandra worked. It was just I'll say unlucky. I think it was unlucky.
I also think it was unlucky.
Pretty unlucky. But here we go. Highway picking. Highway will be picking for it's either picking for bot support or ADC. That's probably gonna be at a Mumu support or either Mumu jungle. Either way,
Tristana. I don't hate the Tristana pick.
No, I love the Tristana pick actually. I think that's a very good play. And we're going in the Jace. Jace is really strong right now. Oh my gosh. They changed Jace. They buffed Jace. And Jace now, you go into Eclipse, and the kid is just unstoppable. So this is gonna be we should see a regular top lane match now. It won't be like two tanks going against each other. This will be a legit top lane match.
Jace is difficult though too because he has the ability to become a ranged champion.
Exactly as well. That's what it was. They buffed his hammer.
And we got the Darius ban again, so we don't get to see Kakid's Darius.
They don't want anything to do with Darius, which I understand because I mean my boy Kakid's Darius is nasty.
We got the Scion ban though.
I'm not against the Scion ban, but
I am itching to see that Rumble ban.
Yeah, I think it would have definitely been nice, like if Point Park was like, okay, it's gonna be because it has to be Jace top.
It has to be.
It would have been nice for them to be like, okay, this is a Jace top. They already have their top lane pick, so we can use this ban for something else. So, but that's my thoughts on it. And Coach is way smarter than me as a Masters player, so it makes sense.
But they got the Nautilus ban, didn't you?
Nautilus ban, I think.
Do our guys play Nautilus?
Yes, I believe. Actually, no. This is
but
different.
the Irelia ban is now out.
Got the Irelia ban, Irelia is ridiculous right now. So, Ezreal, if we're going to see the Ezreal pick from Queens, then there's a lot of a lot of damage in bot lane.
And it gives the support the ability to roam because Ezreal's self-sufficient.
Exactly.
It's better to have a support with you just because it's nicer, but
more lane pressure, but it gives more.
He is self-sufficient enough to hold himself down if there's support.
And if support rotates early, like you were saying, if the support rotates early, then that gives more XP as well to the ADC since the ADCs by themselves. So, and I'm curious if Queens goes with that playstyle.
Pantheon.
Pantheon top?
Are we gonna see Pantheon top?
This Pantheon top?
Unless we see Pantheon support.
No. I think this is Pantheon support because I have seen Ribeiro play Pantheon support before in his matches during practices. So I would love to see a Pantheon support. I think Pantheon. Yes. Okay,
and
I love
Olaf.
The Olaf top. Olaf top into Jace. I think that's a pretty great matchup. But now, if they go Rakan, there could be a lot of.
I am a Rakan enjoyer.
See, now you're rooting for Queens. We cannot have that.
You were rooting for them last time.
Okay, whoa. We're not talking about me right now, okay? But, wow, is it going to be a Rakan pick?
See,
wow.
It's the Rakan pick.
Okay.
I can't root for them. I'm not allowed to root for them. But
I
am a Rakan main, and in my heart, I love.
Shed some light with Rakan for the players who don't play Rakan. I mean, what's the potential here for these team fights?
It's a lot of potential. If you were a good Rakan, you jump in there with W. And you just run in circles and charm as many of them as you can, and then you have E to be able to get out of there.
So much.
And your E has the recast, so you can get in there with the E, run around in circles, and get out of there too if you don't have W up.
And then you also have a Mumu.
That's true.
With with Rakan, that's a lot of CC. And then considering Gragas, to where his CC is a knockback, but that knockback is still very, very annoying. It can either separate people from fights, or it could bring them in. It could force them into fights. We also have Lissandra, though. We have Tristana. I think Tristana is great because even if Queens tries to gank Point Park, like Kai can get out of there. Also Pantheon. I think Pantheon support is great for the early. I think for the just the early laning matchup, because Pantheon does so much poke damage, especially level 2. Oh my gracious, it's annoying. I've dealt with too many Pantheons in top lane, and it's just daunting, to be honest.
I also hate playing Rakan into Tristana. Just because
Really?
even if you escape, she can just jump after you.
This is very true. This is
I
very
hate
true.
it.
Jump after you or just jump away after they get knocked up.
Yeah, it's like Rakan has a lot more escapability, but if you use all of that to try and run away, and Tristana just jumps in on you because she can,
It's over.
it's over. So
Yeah.
I'm putting that faith in our boys that they'll be able to do that.
All right. So now, now I think it will be mid lane or bot lane to dictate the match.
I hope
I
so.
think so.
I really hope so. I don't want to see that like that Fed top mid combo where they're just running around the map just like
Yeah. But then
a
again,
2-man murder party.
I mean, I went against a Jace yesterday, and I got bullied.
You got bullied.
A Fed Jace is very scary. Has the one shot ability as well, which is just really nasty. To where they go into Eclipse, they go into I believe it's Muramura,
Manamura or Mura.
Something like that.
Manamune and Muramana if one's
Mura, we'll call it Mura.
I call it the
yeah.
blue sword. It's the blue sword.
The blue sword. Once they
can't
stack
say
the
its
tiers.
name.
Yeah, they stack the tiers, and then you have that, which it's damage off mana, which that's just it makes it really hard unless you dive Jace, which Jace get a dove on, and then die instantly. But if it's in a 1v2 situation with a Fed Jace, then it's very hard. There's just so much poking potential. But in general, Queens has a lot of poking potential with Jace, Gragas, Ezreal, and I want to say Amumu because this is a Mumu jungle. So that's even dangerous
It's not a
as
Mumu
well.
support.
Huh?
I'm just glad it's not a Mumu support.
That's fair, but do you really want to deal with a Mumu jungle?
I don't-
That's irritating. That is so
Mumu
irritating.
in
to deal
general
with.
is irritating.
Yeah, but then also, because of that, we also have Wukong jungle, which Wukong has, I dare say, the ultimate, compared to Mumu's ultimate, which is just a stun, Wukong is a consistent knockback, a consistent knockup. And I think that'll be great for Point Park, especially fighting for Dragons and fighting for Baron. Because Queens did it last game. Vi was trying to contest for Baron, but Wukong was like, okay, I'm going to go into my clone, go out, I'm going to knock you up, and then you're just dead. And then that's what actually made them snowball into ending the first match. So there is that type of potential for Point Park now compared to Queens. Top lane, though, speaking of it now, I think top lane is going to be a very important matchup in this game because it's either Jace gets fed or Jace gets held at bay, and then everybody else can, and then mid lane dictates the game. Yeah, because Jace can easily take over like that just because of the changes and because of his gameplay now is it's super nasty. This is really, really nasty. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I would like to see some more objective pressure from Point Park. I don't think we had
weren't
that.
on the objectives a lot. I've noticed that sometimes we were on the opposite side of the map, and I know with the one with the Rift Herald, that was a good play.
I think it was a good trade.
I mean, I know we were in a situation where it's like that's not a fight we can take, so it's better let them have it without any picks and going in there and them taking it and them getting picks. But like
sometimes you gotta, I mean, if it's going on like third drag, yeah,
and
you have
we're
to
in the game.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I like that skin too.
As a beautiful
I can't compliment him. It's not my favorite
you're
Rakan skin.
getting biased. There you go.
I'm getting so biased. This is what would happen if the Shen had played Shen though. So
this is fair.
you'd have been like, oh my god, Shen.
The Olaf. Wait. Wow, I was completely wrong. That's a Jace mid.
Oh.
I thought it was gonna be Graga's mid.
I also thought it was gonna be Gragas mid. That is peculiar.
Okay, that's completely fine. But then again, see what's nice about Olaf is that Olaf is yes, we got the reload on the Red Bull. I will not drink it. I won't drink it. Okay.
You're probably gonna drink it.
With Olaf, what I like about Olaf is that it doesn't even matter if Olaf is like 0-5, 0-6, because he has that ultimate, and that ultimate is so annoying because he's CC immune, and he can just run at you and just auto you constantly and kind of secure picks. Say there was like a 700 bounty on Ezreal. Ezreal teleports away. Doesn't matter because I'm Olaf and I can just sprint at you. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. I am also excited to see the Pantheon support. I know when I first started
Oh,
playing League,
I can't wait to see this.
when I first started playing League of Legends, that was like when Pantheon support was in its prime, and
gosh.
Pantheon was my permaban.
Yeah, Pantheon was your permaban.
Yeah, I mean now it's Tristana. So this is two of my permabans.
Are in
So
the game right now.
Yeah. So I think that'll go well.
This will be very
I
interesting.
am curious to see what this Rakan starts though. 'Cause, like I know it's different depending on the situation.
You can
at
start with the
least.
knock-up as well, right?
See, I'll start with knock-up when we're. Oh, he did start with the knock-up.
Can't go straight into the knock-up.
See, the only difficulty with starting with knock-up, I feel it's better to wait for your E. But I could absolutely be
true.
wrong because I am a low elo player.
Well,
Like-
Olaf just going with this
Just going for it.
immense
Does
pressure.
he get it? Does he kill Gragas?
No, unfortunately,
No.
it doesn't.
No, but he does have that top lane pressure now, which is pretty good.
It's hard. It's hard to play against Olaf because you want to go, you want to get the CS, but if you go too far, the Olaf can just walk you down if you get hit by the axe.
That's true.
So it's a tough matchup, and Olaf is really good right now.
Oh, we are gonna get the gank off on the Jace.
I love that play with Lissandra. Even though Lissandra was a level below, Jace tried to hit his, I believe, hammer, but Lissandra got out of there going into the gank. But just an unfortunate gank, and I don't think they burned anything. Play Park burned anything right there. I think Jace still has flash.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure. Surprisingly, a lot of pressure from Queens with Ezreal and Rakan. I would have thought there'd be more pressure from Tristana and Pantheon. Just
See, early game,
Because of the
Rakan has
comp.
a lot of pressure just because he has that engage.
that's just
And if
true.
the ADC is able to follow up on that engage, that's really good. Oh, but he did get caught out for a second.
Loving the play from Tristana right there. Jumped at the same time, got knocked up, so it kind of canceled the knock up a little bit. It's looking very dangerous for Olaf right now with Gragas. Gragas low on mana though, so it could just kind of fade out. But
I think they really both need to recall here. Gragas has no mana, and Kakid on Olaf doesn't have that much health right now.
But Wukong is coming up for a gank.
That is true.
And I don't think the Gragas notices it.
It does not look like he notices
Oh.
it. Oh, I think he noticed
So
it
he
now. I
does
think he
notice it.
stepped up.
But considering the map, it looked like as if Wukong was hiding in a bush. I don't know. Not
Nah,
sure
there's
why.
no bushes over there.
Oh, and Gragas gonna try to go in.
Wukong's gonna be coming up, it looks like.
Ooh, it was looking
But does
very
not look like
dangerous.
he get. Oh, he's just gonna wait on that bush though, so it's possible.
Doesn't seem like this is gonna be a possible first blood.
Oh, but a
Oh,
Mumu tried
wow.
to invade and Pantheon gets
Didn't
the
even
kill
realize.
on him.
I mean, it was a good play by Amumu. You see the Wukong top side. You see the Krugs. The crabs are up. So
It's like,
just
oh,
go.
I will
go for
invade
them.
the enemy jungle, but that didn't work out.
I said crabs. I mean crabs.
It was close enough. They sound the same in the beginning.
There's a lot of pressure, like you said earlier. Just I think there's gonna be constant lane prowl from Ezreal and Rakan. But as long as Point Park plays this out, then they will be okay. Rakan going
Khan
for
with the
that.
engage of Pantheon jumps onto the Ezreal. Tristana follows up after that. It does look like we might get that pick on that Ezreal. Tristana keeps going. And we
Just
got the
gets
pick. Is he gonna
Yeah, you don't want to
Rivera's gonna keep
1v1
pushing
Pantheon. I don't.
Rakan goes back in. That was not a good move at all. But he does get the Q heal, which will give him enough health to live through that
Oh.
spear. But Jace comes back down and gets the pick back off on Ribeiro.
Could this be a possible another? Oh, that was gonna be another pick for Point Park on the Mumu. But again, from last game, those mid rotations, those Queens mid lane. What is his name? I keep saying like all this weird stuff. Rager.
Rager on
Rager's
board.
rotates. His timing with these rotates are really, really good. So he comes back the lane with a kill, and he already has lethality. Having lethality by 5 minutes in the game, that makes it. It's almost like it's a power spec for Jace, and it's really, really hard to go against that, especially trading against that as well.
Looks like there's some trades happening in top lane. Gragas
Gragas
just
is
tanked a
so
lot of
great.
Olaf's health.
I
But
hate
he's going to be
Gragas.
pushing up under that tower, which gives Olaf the advantage.
Wukong is topside right now, so this could be a possible gank, but Gragas just kind of like doing some stylish play right now and just wasted his ultimate, which honestly I don't think was very worth it considering that it's Olaf, and now Olaf has 6. But as you can see, Queen's wasted no time getting
Onto
getting
that
the
dragon.
I think I would have liked to see a team fight between bot lane and mid rotating for the dragon, but it would have turned into a 3v4.
Yeah, we didn't have our jungler there.
And Graga is just playing really confident right now against this Olaf, just trading really, really well. Could be.
He's gonna be.
Wow.
Oh, and
Awesome.
he takes the kill. Rakan jumping in onto the Pantheon. Pantheon jumps right back onto him. Tristana jumps in as well, and then is able to jump right back out. They did do a lot of damage on that Rakan though.
Hot damage on Rakan at the cost of Tristana's health, but
Wukong is coming around the corner. If we can get bot lane to push up a little bit, that would be great. Or if we can stun. If we can stun Rakan and Ezreal both.
I think
Wukong.
Pantheon committing. If Pantheon commits to the stun, then possibly this could be a huge play. But seems like Wukong is gonna back off.
Yeah.
And Jace now has the tier 2 longswords along with lethality. Now this Jace is looking pretty beefy. Not too much, sort of say. Lissandra already has 63 stacks on the tiers.
And they're pretty even in CS. I mean, there's only an 8
Yeah.
CS difference right there.
Only difference is just with Jace rotating, which it's annoying to deal with.
Yeah. And it does seem to... There's a little bit of a gold lead on Queen's side, but it's not by that much. It's about a 1k gold lead, maybe not even.
Definitely. Well, considering they got the dragon, considering they got that 2 kills as well, it's fairly even. I do like the Hexadagger. I believe that's what it's called with Olaf gives him.
Serrated Dirk?
Serrated Dark, yeah. Wow.
Or the one that Olaf has.
The one that Olaf has.
Okay, no, that's not Serrated Dirk. I don't
Yeah.
remember the name of that one. Hex Drinker, I think.
Yeah, Hex Drinker, something like
Hex
that.
something.
I love that he has
Oh,
that,
Jace
though.
jumps onto Lissandra,
Super.
starts pushing her down river, but Highway moves over towards the tower.
Sorry, there was just so what's happening all around them. Everyone just trading all over the place.
Actually, though, it does look like Amumu's going to be getting onto that Rift Herald, though, which is slightly unfortunate.
I mean, Queen's gameplay is so fast paced when it comes to these when it comes to the objectives. They see that they have the top lane proud. They're like, okay, we're gonna go get this. And Olaf committing, it was a good trade by Olaf, but I think committing there would have been a little bit dangerous, especially since Amumu is top
Absolutely.
side. Some great trading by Lissandra right there, just backing off the Jace a little bit.
Rakan and Ezreal are pushed up. They have that pressure bot as well, but it looks like Lissandra's going to try and take some of that pressure off. Oh, but we have Wukong coming down for the gank. Rakan just used his ult.
And this is going to be a first pick for...
And we got an
Yep.
Ezreal pick.
I'm loving that.
It does look like Rakan is able to get away from that, though, which is unfortunate, but we got the pick on Ezreal, and that's all that really matters.
I'm excited to see how this Ezreal is going to... how this Ezreal's
Mumu
gonna
comes
play.
up from behind
Wow.
and gets the gank off on Lissandra.
So much happening right now. Can't we do a...
But it does look like we are going to get some plates off of bot turret, which is great.
It's a good trade-off. I'd say getting one play is about like probably half of getting a kill on a champion. So it's all right.
It looks like Jace is going to be trying to roam. Nope, he's going to try and recall in that bush. Maybe our Olaf can come
Is the
down
Olaf-
around and
it's not enough
get
time.
him. It does not look like he's going to have the time.
Oh, he
Jace
finds
goes
the
back
time.
in, and
Oh,
Olaf
and
gets the
Olaf
kill on the
wins that.
Jace.
Oh wow, that was such an important pick for Point Park to grab, and they do grab that. If Jace would have won that, then that would have been so rough. Wow.
And it looks like Jace is building into Eclipse. He
It already has Eclipse now. That
Yep.
is, whew,
Ooh,
that's dead.
That's
Oh,
a little
that's
scary,
annoying.
but-
Yeah. And see now this mid lane is playing like the mid lane played last week, to where they're not really worried about boots. They're just going straight up in the damage, which I think this is just so. It's so weird that I'm seeing this. I don't usually see this. Maybe it's 'cause
really?
in a lower elo, I don't usually see this. I don't know much about mid lane that much.
I mean, I always see people going for the damage above boots.
Really?
I thought
Always.
building boots like first was a higher elo thing.
Wow. This is very. Oh, it's very different.
Ezreal and Rakan have that pressure down bot again.
Pantheon
But it
does
does
have
look like
level
we're going to be
6.
jumping onto the Ezreal. Lissandra comes down for the gank.
Love
And we
the
have the
display.
ult, and Pantheon gets the kill on Ezreal.
I do like the pick with the Pantheon, but I think Lissandra could
And
have
that sets
definitely
us up
used
pretty
that
well
pick.
for Dragon too.
I would
We don't have
definitely
Ezreal
liked
there for
that.
Drag.
Yeah, this does set up itself for Drag. I want Lissandra to get picks. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to grab some of these picks in these team fights.
Wukong jumps onto the Rakan, but he is able to escape with a W. But it does not look like he's going to be escaping for long because Amumu is right around the corner. Amumu jumps in onto our Pantheon. Rakan is waiting right there around the corner.
I love this
And he
aggression from
W's
Pantheon.
in, but we got
Got the pick on
we
Rakan.
lost Pantheon, but we do get Rakan, and it does look like we're going to get Amumu here as well.
Possible pick on Amumu. Tristana's looking. Oh,
We did not get
wow.
the pick on Amumu. I
The
spoke too soon.
chase.
I so jinxed that, but Lissandra is able to escape.
And see, this is where, as I was saying before, that Jace, it's starting to get scary. You might be able to win the
Jace is going to
fight.
keep running her
Wow,
down,
look
and
at
there's
that.
not much she can do about it.
Oh, wow. The blast into the hammer. That's very unfortunate. But Olaf does pick up a pick while all this is going on. But that's going to be second drag, 12 minutes, 4 queens, 3-1 for Amumu, 3-1 for Jace. Ezreal having a pretty rough game, which is okay because bot lane is having a really good game right now.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie,
absolutely, they
point
are.
blank. But this is
Their
it's a little bit
jungle
rough.
and their mid lane's a little bit fed, but Olaf is taking off some of those tower plates.
And you want to see this Olaf pick kind of flourish out a little bit, just like the Scion flourished out. Gragas has Everfrost, but I mean that doesn't matter when you have an Olaf ult.
Yeah. He just gets so angry and then he doesn't die.
Exactly. It's pretty even all around. A little bit of a 2K difference. I honestly think the 2K difference is due to dragons and just plates
Yeah.
that Queens has.
And it's some of the lanes do have a little bit of a CS lead. Gragas has a CS lead on the Olaf, Amumu, Jace, Ezreal.
Love the Essence Revert pick from Ezreal. That's kind of like the standard, but I don't know why I thought I was gonna see maybe like a Trinity Force or maybe.
Well, you can still see Trinity Force,
Yeah.
but just not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
See, I'm not an ADC player, but the few times I have played ADC, I've really liked playing Divine Thunder on Ezreal.
Yeah, exactly. I especially Divine Center. Yeah.
So we could still see that, or we could still see Trinity Force.
It's funny because it seems like bot lane is still, when it comes to CS, still kind of even. 20 different CS between Jace and Lissandra, which I'm surprised because Jace has rotated more than Lissandra, but is still able to have that CS lead.
Well, I feel like every time he's rotated, he's also taken some minions from whatever lane he's rotated to.
He's very great, very good at trading as well. Has a lot of pressure with his trading.
Up.
And client,
there's a bit of
weird
a-
stuff, and it seemed like it came back to the gameplay, but not really sure what's happening there. All good.
Looked like there was like a small disconnect, but it was
Yeah.
like, it was
It's the Riot client, just being weird.
yeah.
It's not a stalemate for top lane right now, but it seems like it. But we do have the Maul of
is right around the
Moraltas.
corner, but it does look like he's going to be recalling.
I love the Maul Moraltas pick for Olaf. Gives him a lot of sustain, also a lot of damage, and especially when you're going into the Gragas.
Ezreal, never mind, that's not Ezreal. Rakan jumps in with W, tries to get it. Ezreal whiffs his ult.
Unfortunately, and it seems
And
like
Gragas and
trying to make a
Wukong
play
is
in
going
top
in on the
lane.
Gragas. Oh, but
Oh wow, what a play by Gragas right there.
that was a good barrel.
It's either Gragas or Gragas. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Amumu constantly invading, but now has Demonic Embrace, probably going into Jock Show, to be honest.
I
with
wouldn't
Amumu.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely
Which
wouldn't doubt it.
that's going to give him an insane amount of sustain along with plated steel caps. So this Amumu is going to be really tough to deal with in future team fights. And as you can see,
And
Amumu
Ezreal and
shot a
Rakan did get that tower down bot, but it looks like we're going to be jumping on Rakan. He ults. Amumu comes in, also ults, and Ezreal got the pick off on our Pantheon. And it looks like they might be taking bot tower here as well.
Wow, 15 minutes taking the second tower
Yeah.
of bot lane. That's wow. Just what a play.
And they do. They get that tower. With Ezreal, he has the W that takes the image off on a tower.
Yep.
And I can't tell what this Rakan's runes are right now. But I know when I play, I like having that Demolish on there.
Oh yes.
Just for those towers.
Wow.
So it is possible that he has Demolish.
Just wow, just a lot of just that macro pressure. A lot of
Yeah.
macro pressure from Queens right now with those runes and Ezreal.
It looks like Gragas is going to be recalling, or
Trying to recall.
maybe he's taunting with the recall.
It depends. It seems like Olaf is trying to shove the lane, shove the wave out, but
Wukong comes down for the gank on Jace. Lissandra is not there, but they do plays Rift Herald down. I did not even realize that we got Rift Herald. That is pretty cool, though. Ezreal shoots his ult down mid lane. It does not do anything, though.
love preventing from Gragas recalling right there. Could be a lot of action happening in this mid lane. I mean,
Herald gets the first hit off on the tower. Rakan comes in.
I like the flash from Tristana, playing it really, really safe. Possibly could have died there because he did get knocked up by Rakan. I would have definitely thought that Tristana was going to get at least prioritized from Queens right there and died.
It does look like Ezreal and Rakan are going to be pushing up this mid tower. I'm not sure how long it's going to be able to survive for.
This is...
But Tristana has the wave clear to be able to get those minions away from the tower, so that Ezreal and Rakan can't really push up that much.
very even in kills right now.
It looks like the enemy's going to be going down towards Dragon. We could try and contest this, or I can't tell when Herald's going to be coming up.
It's third
But we
dragon. It's kind of...
We kind of really need to contest that.
Kind of have to contest that. Even, well, no, because if it's a lost fight, then it is what it is. But I mean, you want to contest that. It's going on third dragon, and then...
If we can get a pick off before that, Rakan jumps in and ults.
Oh, and would seem like
and
a...
Jace also jumps in with the hammer.
Could have been a great play by
This
Point
is
Park just getting
insane.
out of there, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. And we've yet to see a Pantheon ult, which I think a Pantheon ult would have been...
Oh my god, I haven't even noticed that. You're right, we haven't seen one.
Pantheon ult would have been, I mean, very, very good for these team fights, but it seems like that's not
Olaf
happening.
is running down after the Gragas. I think that was his ult.
Yeah.
It was his ult. Does he get the pick off? No, but we got the Pantheon ult up top lane. Tristan is there with him. Are
Loving
we going
this
to be able
play.
to get this pick on this Gragas? Pantheon jumps on, and
I love
Olaf
that.
gets the kill.
And you also want to, if I was Point Park right now, yeah, you want to push up that top lane to get some type of trade, because
They need
have third
Tristana at that
dragon.
tower. Tristana has so much tower pushing
Exactly.
abilities. She just melts through them, and if she's recalling right now, yeah, they can get that tower, but they could have probably moved up a little bit to get the next one. But Jace is coming up, so maybe recalling was a good call. Looks like Pantheon's going to be able to get out of there,
I see
but
what
Olaf
Jace-
is not.
Oh no, and Jace might
Olaf-
pick up 2 kills.
It does look like... Oh!
Pantheon did... Oh,
that
wow.
was so close.
I
One
was
more
so
auto.
ready.
One auto, and he would have had that, but
So
Jace
ready.
Jace was just a little bit faster.
That would have been a huge bounty, and that would have been a Pantheon diff, but giving Jace now that kill, Jace 6-1. Again, it wasn't a matter of, like, it wasn't a matter of laning phase. It seemed like, well, with trading, I think Rager traded a lot more efficiently than Highway, which gave him the ability to have a lot of pressure in laning for him to rotate.
Absolutely.
This is a rough game. It doesn't seem like a very huge blowout when it comes to kills. It's only 8-11.
It also does look like while that was all happening up top lane, we did lose drag.
Yeah, lost drag.
So now it is soul point for Queen.
6K, well, almost 5K gold difference, and you also have soul point now, which that's
Okay, they're jumping on the
pretty
Rakan.
rough.
Rakan has enough escape to be able to get out of there.
Let's see. And now, of course, Baron's going to be coming up. There was some-
Cassandra engaging on that Gragas. Tristana comes back down around the corner.
Oh wow! And
Gragas gets the kill on Highway, but Kha'Zix comes back in and gets revenge.
oh, and now,
Rakan jumps in, dashing all over the place. Ezreal is going to be doing a lot of damage to that tower.
Gragas has Shadow Flame now, which that's gonna make his damage output and his burst really crazy now. And Amumu has Jack Show, which
Just like you predicted.
woo, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be really hard to deal with.
And there is about a 5k difference
Yeah.
in gold.
And Queens, again, they're not wasting any time when it comes to macro. They're like, okay, we're fed. We're going to keep on forcing these fights so we could just keep on getting these towers, keep on pushing these lanes. And they have absolute pressure over Baron right now. Olaf could possibly get caught off guard. He's kind of stuck in the jungle where Queens might meet him there.
It does look like he's going to be able to make it out to the tower before they can get there. But they are looking at Herald right now. Does look like they're going to be taking that, and there's not anything
Rakan
our
is so
guys can do
tall.
about it.
I've never noticed Rakan is just so tall. Maybe it's because of the monitor, like the TV screen that we're on, but it's just, he looks so tall. He's like 7 feet. It's like, good lord. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna go for Baron now.
Okay, Pantheon jumps in on the Jace. Wukong comes back around. Rakan jumps in after him. It does look like Olaf does get the pick on Jace. Rakan
I love the
ults to
Jace
try and
dive.
escape, but
Oh, but Red Team Queens does get the
Olaf
Baron.
is just running around being CC immune, but he does not get to live against that Amumu. Tristana's following the Gragas
Love the pressure from the Tristana,
and
but
gets the pick off, but
still doesn't know.
But Kai did just leave Ribeiro alone in that fight. Lissandra has come up now. That was a pretty good Lissandra ult. It does not look like we're going to be able to get that pick on that Ezreal as Ezreal gets that pick on our Tristana.
It's a little bit
Mumu
rough.
is flashing M7 because why not?
It's a little bit rough. I think what Tristana was trying to go for there, Tristana was like, okay, I know Moon was there. It's whatever. It's just a tank. I'm going to go for Ezreal. But it seemed like Lissandra was trying to go for Ezreal and then had the ult, unfortunately. So that was, I think that was unfortunate timing. I think if Lissandra didn't ult there, they possibly could have got the pick
Probably.
on Ezreal. But it depends, though, because you have that Mumu, and he can just go around and just stun you while walking. It's just very annoying.
Okay, Wukong's going to come around the corner, do a little bit of damage to Ezreal, but does not look like he's going to get the pick. Rakan is running around our jungle, taking out wards. Jace is close nearby, so it's not like he's going to be out of place with that.
Queens is, I mean,
Is Pantheon going to catch that Ezreal trying to recall? He
vision control. There's
does
so much
not.
vision control that Queens has and that they're already prepping for. Jace, level 14. He can just walk, do whatever he wants, put out
Rakan
there.
is dashing all over the map, and Mumu's dashing in, stunning our Wukong.
Loving the, oh my goodness.
Tristana gets caught out by
So unfortunate.
Jace. There's an Lissandra ult on the Rakan.
I feel like there was so many random fights that happened there, Gale. Like it was something. There was 2 different fights happening there. They dove the Tristana to separate her from being able to do anything in that fight, but then also taking care of the Olaf because, wow, this is a
And
tough game for Point Blank.
that's going to be Infernal Soul for Queens.
Oh my goodness! And Inferno Soul is not compared to other souls. Inferno Soul definitely one of the, I believe one of the, I would say
It's
one
one
of
of the
best.
better.
Yeah, one of the better souls. I mean, you have a lot of more damage output, and considering you have Jace with those nuking shock balls, it's hard to deal with. As you can see, there's
Gragas is going to be pushing down
the
bot
level
lane
gap.
while everybody else is.
There's
Nope.
a massive level gap between mid lane right now. 2 levels, but 2 levels is pretty important. And look at that. Queens is wasting no time to end this game.
They're just going to push it.
They're gonna keep on
looks
going.
Like they're going to keep going. I think they're going to do what they did last game and try and end it here.
They definitely can. I mean, you have the Gragas.
They have the Baron buff trying to get out through there. Tristan is doing some damage on Ezreal, but it is not as much damage as he is doing to her.
It's scary. You have the Navori blades with the Essence Reaver. 'cause
Mumu
Navori's
is
really
engaging on, that was Pantheon and Lissandra, but he's able to get away. Gragas comes up around the corner. Wukong is chasing the Ezreal and gets caught out by Jason.
good. Wukong tried to get the pick on Ezreal, which is understandable, but you have a Mumu just kind of doing whatever he wants right now in this lane. Oh, Rakan dies.
Lissandra gets the double kill. Will she get a triple? Will she get a triple on the Amumu? It does not look like she's going to get the triple on the Amumu.
And Tristana gets the kill on Jace. This is very huge.
Ezreal whiffs his ult. Lissandra comes in to try and get that kill on that Ezreal. All that's left is Amumu. If they can clear these waves, they will be just fine. Now they just have to push up mid and they have to push up bot because they're going to be having the super minions come up. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
10K difference
Oh my
between Queens right now, but I think this was a great fight. 4-point part. They have the super minions to kind of fall back on. You have Olaf with Trinity Force now. Hopefully Wukong can get the second item to possibly be more effective in these team fights. I understand Wukong trying to get the picks on Ezreal, but when you have a Mumu and you have Jace,
there's not really much
the
you
back
can do
line,
about
it's
that.
not really much you can do
can't
there.
really chase. Not chase.
And now Ezreal has the ability to haste boots, which is great for Ezreal, but has Navori Blades, Essence Reaver, and Kraken Slayer. So building that third item, Mythic, that's going to give him an amazing power spike right there. This is looking really rough, and I love the pick on Black Cleaver with Jace because they buffed Black Cleaver, so it's a bit more viable now.
I don't love it only because it means that Jace is going to be stepping on our team.
This is true.
And so I hate it for that reason.
Yeah. But now Lissandra has Zanya's, so this could... Wow, Ezreal, so much damage output right there on the Wukong. That's just...
Oh, he went Kraken Slayer. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Really?
I feel like,
I don't know why I said really. I don't think I've seen Kraken Slayer on Ezreal either.
see, I feel like with Ezreal, you could just build a random assortment of items and you'll be fine.
It'll just happen. They don't even have to be mythic items. It just works.
Yeah, usually I see the Trinity Force, I see the Divine Sunder, but I have never seen Kraken Slayer, but it does seem to be working out for him.
It's funny how you mentioned about that that demolition that you do on Rakan, because I believe Rakan has that, which
The demolish, yeah.
yeah, the demolish. And here we go, full on. Oh wow, what a stun by Amumu right there. That just gave Chase to go.
Rakan ulted in, and Jace just got a quadra. It does not look like he's going to be getting that penta.
Possible penta. Oh my gosh, what a play.
It looks like they're going to be waiting for him to get that penta.
Wow.
He walks up to try and get it, and they both die to the fountain aggro, but they have so many minions there. It does not look like Tristan's going to be able to clear them, even if she could. Amumu is still there.
Yeah.
It looks like this is going to be game.
Yeah, and it seems like that is going to be game. Unfortunately, that's just what a wow. There's not much to say there. That's I'm sad.
That was difficult.
Yeah, it was difficult to watch, but just to go into the gameplay, Jace, like wow, like
they just have such a good mid laner.
Their team fight was
our guys did fantastic.
Yeah.
But the enemy team was so difficult to fight against that there wasn't really much I feel like they could have done. They did everything right for the most part. They were choosing their fights wisely, but it wasn't enough to really.
Yeah, I definitely felt that wasn't enough. I mean, Jace just playing with the minions, slow pushing, also trading with the Lissandra, and was just honestly better at trading, which gives him the prio on Dragon, gives him the prio with rotating. I think rotating played a huge part in just Queen's success in this entire set of matches, to be honest. Which it was really hard, but then you also had the Amumu jungle pick, which I mean we just saw right there.
Fantastic.
That was an amazing ultimate by Amumu. There's really not much you can say right there. That was just perfect gameplay by Amumu.
The enemy was also just so good at just getting pressure, not even just in the mid lane. We had so much pressure on top lane. We had so much pressure on bot lane. It's like
the lane pressure was amazing, and they wasted no time. They wasted no time. They were like, okay,
they
we're
were
gonna
on top of everything.
Yeah. Every objective, wasted no time on every objective, and it seemed like Ezreal wasn't doing a lot in the laning phase.
But once we got out of that laning phase.
Yeah, exactly. Once you got out of the laning phase, and then also building Navori Blades, second item, that's just a popular pick overall because they changed Navori, making Navori pretty viable as a second item now, and we saw that flourish out.
Yeah, honestly,
wow.
I've never seen attack speed built on Ezreal, but that worked out really well for him. I have never seen that, but that worked out.
How did you feel about the Pantheon pick?
I liked it.
You liked the Pantheon pick?
I liked it. I feel like maybe it could have been used a little bit better. I could absolutely be wrong. But I feel like there was something missing. What was missing, I couldn't tell you. But there was something missing from that Pantheon game. It could have put them ahead, and he played really, really well. He was getting picks off.
I think the problem, honestly, is that he stayed in lane too long. That's what I personally think. I think once you get level 6, try to maybe possibly look for an ultimate in mid lane to help out Lissandra, or maybe go top to go with Gragas. Like I think an early rotate from the support instead of staying in the laning phase, because Tristana,
especially as a Pantheon support.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge play. It's almost like Shen. You have that map presence with the ultimate. So I think that being used a bit more aggressively, I think that could have played.
It was just hard though because there was so much pressure on bot lane.
Exactly,
if you would have left that Tristana alone.
Yeah, let Tristana alone.
Then
Rakan
it could have gone worse earlier.
Yeah, this is wow. That was it's tough. That's just a tough comp that Queen's had.
It absolutely was.
And I was not expecting that Gragas just to do what he did in top lane, especially to hold down that Olaf. I would have thought the Olaf would have I guess an advantage there, but to think about it, I think Olaf was. I think Gragas was a great pick going into the Olaf top lane.
He was a great Gragas. He was on top of all of those barrels, knew which way they would be shooting, and always. He was just so good at Gragas. I've never seen a Gragas play that well.
Had third item as well, especially building the Shadow.
The Shadow Flame.
Yeah, best be building Shadow Flame.
That's probably my favorite item in the game.
That's just a lot of burst damage. That's so much burst damage, and it's so hard to deal with that, especially when you don't have the sustainability for it. And as well, for Amumu making a lot of huge plays, getting Demonic Brace and getting Jaxo online. And the more how Jaxo works, the more you fight, the more sustained, the more health you get.
And Amumu was just in there. He was ulting,
an iron
he
wall.
was fighting. And
End up being
We
an iron
could
wall.
not contest that Amumu's existence.
Yeah, it was hard. I
Even
mean,
if we tried
yeah,
contesting the Amumu's existence, we had Gragas and Rakan to back him up.
yeah. Mumu had third item. Wukong was still on second item, so naturally you just it's hard to
And,
contest with that. But
and another thing about it,
mm,
like they were never like caught out. If somebody was
this
somewhere,
is
there was
true.
always somebody else nearby
This is very, very
or
true.
able
Yeah.
to rotate towards them, so that there wasn't really like we couldn't really get
No, they stayed
picks.
together constantly. Stayed together. Couldn't even get solo picks. Couldn't even. There was no split pushing by the Gragas, which that was just that. I mean, it's a great player, Gragas, and I think. See, I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even tell you what they could have done better. That was just.
I mean, I don't
That
even
was a
know what
game.
they could have done better. It was just such
Yeah.
a difficult game.
That's a difficult game, a very difficult game, especially just playing out the laning phase. Because that's all Queens did. Queens they play out the laning phase, but when it comes to objectives and team fights, that's
They were
when
on
they were
top
on
of
top of that,
everything.
really on top of that. When it's funny because considering last week, their laning phase was a bit shaky, but then again when it came to team fights and when it came to farming, they thrived in that. So pretty rough game. I believe next week we have a league game, so
Mhm.
stay in tune. Big stuff, a little bit rough, but we're gonna get back on it. It's only the second game of the season. We got so much gameplay out right now. We love league. Can't wait to see more of it. Can't wait to see more of our players. Just
I'm excited to see
yeah,
how
come with these
far our guys
comps.
come. 'Cause
Exactly. Yeah,
I feel like I
they
remember
played better. I feel like
they
they
did
played.
play this game a lot better than they played the last one.
Oh, definitely.
They learned from their mistakes last time, and
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna continue to learn from here.
Just
And I'm
that
really
mid
excited.
lane, man. That mid lane.
It's always
Oh my gosh.
the enemy mid lane is just so
The
good.
mid lane is crazy. It was nuts, and it was nuts like that last game too. It was just it's crazy. But yeah, make sure to tune in. Make sure to tune in with our social media as well. We will be keeping you posted on the schedule and just future events happening. So yeah, this is Ricky, and
This is Gale.
yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.